I'm John McQuay with 8541 Tactical, and we're out at the range today to talk to you guys about the Really Right Stuff SOAR Tripod. Now, Really Right Stuff is an American company that started in 1990 making products for photo and video professionals. Recently, they decided to jump into the precision rifle game with both feet with their SOAR product line. Now, SOAR stands for Sport, Optic, and Rifle, and their products are designed specifically for precision rifle shooters or hunters who really want to get the most out of their rifle system. Now, tripods have been a fact of life for professional law enforcement or military snipers for quite some time now. In my role both as a SWAT sniper and as a Marine Corps sniper, there were quite a few shooting situations where the ground cover and the environment around you don't allow for a stable prone shot or a low kneeling shot, etc. They don't allow for the use of a bipod and a rear bag. You really have to be able to get higher up off the ground. This is especially critical when you are making high angle shots, either down or up. Very often you have barricades, windows, things of that nature to deal with, so you really have to get your rifle up off the ground. But precision rifles require a solid support to be able to get the most accuracy out of the system, and that's where tripods like the Really Right Stuff SOAR come in. Now, when I was in the Marine Corps, it was pretty normal before you went to sniper school to make your own tripod, and that usually was a trip to Wally World to pick up the cheapest camera tripod that you could find. You went and raided the hardware section for some metal. You got some, you cut about 6 inches off your sleeping mat and got some riggers tape, and you came up with this monstrosity that you later spray painted to drag out to the field with you. They were rather lightweight, but the thing is they were plastic and aluminum, and they very often broke at the absolute worst time. There are quite a few times on stalks where snipers would come back in with a smashed up tripod because you're dragging them all over hill and dale. This really is not a concern with a tripod like the Really Right Stuff that we have here. The carbon fiber and lightweight aluminum construction is going to be incredibly durable. It gives you a really stable platform, but it's still lightweight enough that strapping it on your pack and dragging it around is not going to be a problem. The tripod that I took with me out to the Sniper's Hide Cup in Colville, Washington was made by a competitor, and it was a considerably heavier tripod. It was all aluminum, and while it did what it needed to do, it really took a lot extra out of me at the end of the day having to haul it around. Now, at that same competition, several of my teammates did have Really Right Stuff tripods with the Vyce head out there, and I got a chance on several of the different stages to try out their gear, and it really made me a believer this is a quality piece of equipment. I was extremely happy when Really Right Stuff contacted me and asked if they could send one out for us to try. So after shooting with this for quite a few weeks out here at the range, going for longer and longer shots, more precise targets, what you find is there really is a very specific skill set to shooting off of a tripod. It's a little bit unlike shooting prone or shooting from barricades. There are some things that you need to be aware of to get the most out of the tripod, and we may do an extended tripod shooting video later on. But once you get the knack of it, the things that you can do with a rifle on a tripod are really pretty unique. There's nothing else out there that will allow you to do it. Getting hits on long-range precision targets from as high a position as I'm standing right now, this is really the only way to do it unless you have a actual structure or a barricade that you can set your rifle on. This is the only man-portable way to do it. So let's talk about the controls on the Really Right Stuff tripod. Now, Really Right Stuff makes a variety of legs, a variety of ball heads, and a variety of attachment systems to allow you to customize a system specifically for your rifle. We have the Vyce head on top here, and it attaches on top of the ball head with an Arca Swiss attachment type system. This is really cool because Really Right Stuff has decided to make Arca Swiss adapters for a wide variety of rifle systems out there. So quite a few chassis systems, quite a few rifle systems already have the ability to bolt an adapter directly onto them and not need the Vyce. This also allows you to take regular camera Arca Swiss adapters and put them on the bottom of your spotting scopes, your laser range finders, whatever other equipment you happen to have out there with you, and you can interchangeably snap them on. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with the Arca Swiss system, it uses a dovetail type adapter, and they usually come with safety pins on either side of it. The Really Right Stuff ball heads are designed to accommodate these safety pins, and what you have is when the system is locked down, it's not going anywhere. If you slightly unlock it to the half mark, then it can slide forward and back for adjustment, but because of the safety pins, it won't completely fall out of the head. So if for some reason you just slightly hook this lever on something in the field, which would be very difficult because of the way it folds in, but if you did pop it out, then your rifle or cradle or whatever you have on here is not just going to fall off. You have to go all the way back to the third position before you can lift it off. So you get it in, get it adjusted to where you want, lock this lever all the way down, and it's rock solid. It's not going anywhere. It's not sliding around. Now let's talk about the Vyce. While you can get a variety of attachments, you're not going to be able to get an attachment for every rifle. So let's say you have something that doesn't have a Picatinny rail on the bottom of it. It has a traditional stock, say something like a hunting rifle or my M40A1. Then the Vyce attachment is the perfect solution for that. It is a Vyce. It has jaws that open or close depending upon where you roll this nice huge knob on the side here. And the action is very smooth. As you can see, I can very quickly go from closed all the way down to wide open. This is going to fit just about any stock that you would use in a field situation. The jaws are padded with rubber, so you're not going to have to worry about marring your fiberglass or polymer stocks. Now, I wouldn't go clamp a really nice figured piece of wood in here without some additional padding, but I don't think you're going to have any problems with most stocks out there. This large ball here has some very aggressive knurling on it, so you can tighten it down and you can really get a nice grip on the rifle. During our testing, we never had a problem with the rifle actually sliding or moving around in the Vyce. You crank it down, it bites down on that stock, and it holds very, very well. So the Vyce is a great option for guys that really want to be able to throw just about everything in here. If you are running a Vyce, this guy does open wide enough that most spotting scopes are going to be able to drop down in here. Quite a few laser rangefinders are going to be able to go in here. And if you have one of those really skinny, vertically oriented laser rangefinders, chances are you're going to be able to tighten this down narrow enough to grip that laser rangefinder and get a really solid position to be able to laze long-range targets on. Now, coming down below that, we have the ball head. Now, this is one of their mid-size ball heads. They have ball heads for a variety of different weight capacities. So if you have a really big Mongo heavy rifle, like a 50 BMG or one of the ELR systems, you can get a heavier duty ball head that will better accommodate those. This is perfect for most of the competition type rifles that we're going to shoot at PRS type matches. Now, the ball head has 3 different adjustments on here. We've got this little star-shaped knob here, which controls your pan. And you can lock this out totally. I prefer to leave it a little bit loose. That way the rifle can smoothly pan from target to target without problems. The knob right above it here on the side, this is your tension for your ball head. So while the ball head is totally unlocked, this knob here controls how much friction there is in moving this ball head around. And I like to set it so that it is just to a point where if I let go of the rifle, it doesn't slam down, but yet I still want it loose enough that I can very quickly level out the rifle or swing up and down to the next target. But it's totally up to you how tight you want that set. You can crank this down tight enough that the rifle is not going to go anywhere when you let go of it, or leave it loose enough that it flops around all loosey-goosey. So again, totally up to you. Now, a really neat control is the one we have on the other side here, and this is the actual lock for the ball head. So what this allows you to do is take out any movement at all and lock the rifle in solidly. It has a really nice big paddle on this knob, so it's easy to lock it down and get a whole lot of force on it to keep it from going anywhere. Additionally, what you can do is once you get it into a position that you want it as far as the tension's concerned, you can pull the knob out and rotate it to clock that knob to wherever you want to make it the easiest to control for you. Now, usually when I have this set up for shooting, I have it set up in the orientation that we have here. So I have the locking system on the left on the ball head, and I have the knob on the Vyce on the left. And what that allows me to do is when I have the rifle in position, I have my firing hand on the grip. I can reach up with my support hand and I can do any adjustments that I need on the tripod. So that is the Vyce head and the ball head. Now let's talk about the actual tripod sticks, or the legs, real quickly. Now the legs are carbon fiber and aluminum, and they're fairly lightweight affairs, but they are really beefy. You've got quite a bit of thickness here in these legs. Now the angle adjustment is set by these locks here, and you have 3 different angles of adjustment. In order to adjust the angle on your legs, all you do is you move them out of the fully deployed position and pull this lock out. Now you can move the leg all the way up, and as soon as you get to the top position, the adjustment will click back in. Now you just simply move the leg to where you need it, and you'll hear the click when the lock gets to the next position. Now it's load bearing and it won't move again. If I want to go to the next position down, again, I just move the leg down, it clicks, and now it's in its farthest down position, and this is as high as the legs will spread. Now, this tripod will actually go to a very high height. If I go ahead and fully deploy the legs here, you'll see that we can go pretty far up. Now, this is really higher than I could possibly shoot a rifle from a regular standing position. Now, if I was in a position where I had to make a really low angle shot, I had to clear a pretty high barricade in front of me, then I could climb up on a chair or something, get my rifle up in here, and get that really nice low position. So the fact that it goes up pretty far is great. Additionally, if I had to shoot up onto a building, then I can put the rifle up here. I can get that really high angle shot. So I like that the tripod goes up this far. Normally though, what happens is when you have a tripod that goes up that far, you sacrifice how low the tripod will go. Well, if I come down here and if I totally collapse the legs, then you can see, if I collapse the legs, pull my lock out and flip this up, that we'll go so far down that it is about bipod height. So you can go from this high standing to bipod prone very quickly and very easily. Now the legs, as I said, are very beefy affairs. Even when we come all the way down here to the smallest leg section, the smallest leg section is still thicker than a lot of the legs I see on tripods guys are trying to use for leg support or for rifle support. Now what you'll normally do is that will stay closed in the tripod, and you will use the larger leg sections first, and you'll use that little tiny one as a last resort. That's generally the way to stay the most stable. Now I will talk about the leg adjustments real quick. You'll notice that these are collar or collet type leg adjustments. So to lock it in, you have to turn this rubberized ring and tighten it down, and that locks the legs in. And we didn't have any problems with legs collapsing, but one thing that I don't like about these is they tend to be a little bit slower to deploy and to lock in than the regular flip lock type legs that I have on the variety of my camera tripods, or the majority of my camera tripods and video tripods. So they're a little bit slower to get locked in. Also, you lack the visual reference to know that they're locked. With the flip locks, you can tell really quickly at a glance if the lock is open or if the lock is down and closed. Now the advantage that these type of leg locks offer over lever type is that they don't require any adjustment. The simple act of tightening them down is adjusting that lock and making sure that you get the most grip tension every time. With lever type leg locks, they very often include a wrench. You have to keep tools around so that if they start to loosen up, that you can adjust and tighten up those legs. So overall, the decision is generally a personal one. Some people like levers, some people like collets or collar type locking legs. The really nice thing about these type is they slide down in bags. They don't hang on things. If you're going through heavy brush, you don't have to worry about something grabbing the locks, popping them open, and then your legs are deploying while you're sliding along with your backpack. So it is a personal decision. I'm not going to say that it is a drawback. It's just something that you have to keep in mind depending on how you want to use the tripod. We've been using this for quite a few weeks now. I've really enjoyed using this tripod. As I said, during our training out here, it's made me a better shooter off of the tripod. It's allowed me to engage targets that really I would have had no way to engage without a tripod. I've tried a wide variety of tripod systems, and I think really we're getting to the peak of tripod design. Now, I will tell you this does not come cheap. This level of quality, this level of engineering, and the fact that these are made in America does come at a price. So it is an expensive overall tripod. But if you want the best and you want to be at the peak of your game, this is definitely a tripod that you should be looking at. So again, I want to thank Really Right Stuff for sending their tripod out to us. They keep improving and expanding their SOAR product line, so I highly suggest you go take a look at their webpage and take a look at the products that they have out there and see if they have a setup for your rifle. If you guys have any questions or comments on the Really Right Stuff SOAR tripod, please leave them in the comment section below or send them to us on Facebook or Twitter. If you like the video, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Clicking that subscribe button really helps us out because it shows manufacturers that you guys like what we're doing, and it helps you out because it'll let you know when we release new content. And until next time, get out and shoot.